Yo guys, what is good and what's going on, everybody? Your boy BLSG back at it again for the second straight night with another Sixers live play-by-play. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's right. We are back here for another one on the second of a back-to-back in the same location as last night. We're back in the Wells Fargo Center as the Philadelphia 76ers in this game tonight, coming off a win last night over the Milwaukee Bucks, 110-102. Coming to this game tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves, again at the Wells Fargo Center. Going to be a really tough competition by any means when it all comes down to it at the end of the day. But we're here ready to go and ready to get this game started, man. You guys already know how we rock and roll. You guys all know the drill. You guys know the drill, man. We're here back for another one tonight against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Should be a good one, man, on the second of a back-to-back. Appreciate everybody for coming through and tuning in. Y'all not done so, hit that like button and subscribe to the show if you guys are new. And everyone share the stream so we can bring more viewers up in this chat. Appreciate everybody for coming through as always. Let's get this stream started. Music producer! The music's great, but let's cut the feed real quick! Thank you! Let's roll through the chat here before we get started. We've got a few comments to get to, so let's roll through them real quick. SG Sports Talk being the first one in here. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through, man. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Appreciate you for coming through. We respect fans in the chat, opposing fans, or fans of the same team, as I am. We respect all fans here up in the chat as long as you're not toxic and you're not spamming random stuff. I see all your stuff, my guy. It's all good. Going with the T-Wolves winning this game with the Sixers by a score of 72-65. Lowest scoring game of all time ever since. MC, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through. So let's go Sixers. You already know. Hit that like button as you're coming in here. Appreciate you for coming through, MC. Bleacher, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through. So let's go Sixers. You already know. Same thing as MC. Hit that like button. Let's go. Yo, my guy. I haven't seen this man in maybe months. A year. I haven't seen this man in God knows how long. One of the first subscribers to the channel. My guy. Barn5. I have not seen him in this chat forever. Barn5, great to see that you are back in the chat, my guy. Great to see that you're back in the chat, man. It's absolutely phenomenal to see you back in the chat. It has been a while since you have been here, but it's great to see that you are back, Barn5. Appreciate you for coming back in the stream for the first time in a while. You probably had some things going on, and that's respectable. But appreciate you for coming back through tonight. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Let's go. Appreciate everybody for coming through, man. We do have some news to get into for this game, so I'm going to roll through it really quick. So, in terms of news for this game, ladies and gentlemen, the Philadelphia 76ers are down 3 starters. They're down 3 starters. Obviously, we know James Harden is not in the starting lineup. He will not return within at least the next 2 weeks. Tobias Harris is once again out for this one tonight with hip soreness. So Tobias Harris is a no-go as well, which will mean that between PJ Tucker and Daniel House, one of them is getting the start at small forward or power forward, wherever he would normally be played. And then Tyrese Maxey, we know the story on Tyrese Maxey. He got injured in last night's contest against the Bucks. And unfortunately, we got a report saying that Maxey will be back on the court in approximately 3 to 4 weeks. So that is rough for Tyrese Maxey as well. This is rough for our starting lineup. We're having to bring players up off the bench into the starting lineup, such as Shake Milton, obviously DeAnthony Melton still, and Daniel House included. Obviously, we have PJ Tucker still in the starting 5, and then Joel Embiid. It's going to be a rough one in tonight's game, but we will find out what happens. Joel Embiid is going to have to carry. We're going to need another big game from Niang, another big game from Milton, and probably a big game from DeAnthony Melton too. We're going to need big games out of all these players tonight. Let's see if we can go out here and hopefully find a way to get the job done. We got to find a way, man. Hey, we respect all fans in the chat. We respect all fans. As long as you're not disrespecting anyone and spamming, we respect all fans here. We welcome everyone that's up in the chat. And guys, I am ending up doing this second of a back-to-back because I was going to do, I know I said this last night, but I'm going to say it again. I was going to do the Ohio State Buckeyes game earlier today against Maryland, which they did, by the way, end up winning. Which it has been it has been the Saturday of near upsets in terms of college football. Michigan almost got upset by Illinois, and Ohio State was close to getting upset by Maryland today, as they beat them by a score of 42-30. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, on the score. But Ohio State gets a win. And, we'll enjoy this one this week. We'll reset for next week, which is Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, next week is going to be a doozy. But we'll see who comes out on top. We'll see what the D-Lo drops, man. And yes, I forgot, Barn 5, my guy, is a Michigan fan. Me and my guy, Barn 5, man, we might be friends in terms of, like, Philly sports, but when it comes to college football, we are enemies, man. We are enemies. It's game on. And we are Ohio State. Howl of Sal. Hey, we are Ohio State, though. I'm just going to say that. Another rough one on the road, but we're back in Columbus for the final game of the regular season. We're back at home for the last game of the regular season. Last time we went out there and played a home game, I believe we won. I think we dominated, but that was, I think, against an unranked team. But that was against Indiana the last time we played at home. They were unranked, though. So, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens next week. But for now, let's see what happens tonight. NC says, OHIO. If Blake is healthy, we're going to win. We'll see. We're going to see about that, man. We're going to see who comes out on top. But I really do hope that Blake Corum's okay. I'm never wishing an injury on any player. Even if it is any team that I hate, like the Wolverines, the Cowboys, any team that I hate, even if a player on that team gets injured, I will never wish an injury on any player. So I hope Blake Corum is going to be okay. But still, Ohio State's coming out on top. That's right. I said it. But yeah, guys, for this Sixers game tonight, drop your score predictions down below. Let me know what you guys think is going to be the final score for tonight's game. And let's see what happens, man. This is going to be a hard game to win. We're down 3 starters. We're down Harden. We're down Tobias. We're down Maxey. We have to have Shake Milton starting today. We have to have D'Anthony Melton starting today. And we have to have Daniel House starting today. So let me know score predictions down below in the chat. Let me know score predictions for this game tonight. But Barn 5, man, to have any chance, you need Blake Corum at 100%. And McCarthy also has to be playing a lot better than that, because the way you guys played Illinois, the way you played them would not beat Ohio State when they are playing at the top of their level, at the highest peak possible. That performance right there, that would not beat Ohio State. I will tell you that right now, and I'm sure you can agree with me on that. the way your team played today, y'all got away with one today. You know, you should have took loss number one, but because Jake Moody, your kicker's so clutch, he's got to find a way to ruin, might not a little bit, with Michigan having to come out on top. I thought that was going to go to Illinois. There's just been too many close games and too many times where Michigan's just barely squeaked them out. So at the end of the day, got to find a way to. We'll just see what happens, man. We'll see what happens next week. The way we put Maryland today would not be Michigan at its highest level. I can respect it too. I mean, Ohio State played sloppy, don't get me wrong, but we're not the team that beat unranked Illinois by this many points. How many is that? 1, 2. You beat Illinois by 2 points because your offense was struggling, the defense was struggling. You barely get away with one, man. You barely got away with one by any means. And how many points did we beat Maryland by? 5, 10, and then 2 more. 12 points. 12 points we beat them by, man. But here we go. The starting lineups coming in for both teams here. For the Minnesota Timberwolves is D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, Karl-Anthony Towns, and Rudy Gobert. And for the Philadelphia 76ers is Shake Milton, DeAnthony Melton, Daniel House, PJ Tucker, and Joel Embiid. Going to be a really tough game to win, but we're going to see who comes out on top. Going to be a hard game for the Sixers to win, but let's see who comes out on top, man. Here we go. It looks like Sixers are going City Edition tonight because the court has changed to the City Edition court. And yes, they are going with the City Edition jerseys. What to watch in this game for the Sixers is to be physical and move the ball. That is a fact. That is a fact. And no playing sloppy on the offensive side. Grab your rebounds and quit the turnovers. It's another thing I will put out there. Quit the turnovers and pick up the offensive rebounds. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that, man. Milton really need to step up. We'll see tonight, man. We'll see tonight. I mean, Shake Milton had a good game last game. He had 15 points off the bench, so it's respectable. And then DeAnthony Melton, that's the one that needs to step up. That's the one that needs to step up in this game tonight, but we're going to see what happens. And then we have George Niang off the bench, too, who had a really good game last night as well. So we're going to see what happens, man. You know, so far the Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert experiment has not worked out up to par. But we're going to see what happens tonight with the Sixers missing 3 of the stars. We're underway as the Timberwolves win the tip, and here we go. Anthony Edwards gets this over to McDaniels, over to Rudy Gobert. Gobert matching up with PJ Tucker. Gobert kicks it out to, actually, I think that is D'Angelo Russell. Russell coming inside. Russell, the three-point shot is no good and rebounded by the Sixers. Daniel House getting the rebound and gets it out to Shake Milton. Milton directing traffic. Milton puts it up for Joel Embiid. Embiid matching up with Gobert, gets it over to Daniel House, and Daniel House, the layup is good to get the Sixers going in the second game of a back-to-back. 40 seconds in. Anthony Edwards with the ball. Edwards coming inside, gets it over to D'Angelo Russell, and Russell with the reverse layup is good. So just like that, the Minnesota Timberwolves are going to go ahead and answer. Daniel House gets this over to Joel Embiid. Embiid looking for his options, matching up with Gobert. Embiid, the two-point shot, no good, rebounded by the Timberwolves. I thought the ball was loose for a second, but Anthony Edwards has it. As Edwards brings it down the floor, Edwards, the two-point shot is no good and rebounded by the Sixers. Melton bringing the ball down the other end. Looking. Matching up with McDaniels. Melton around a screen. Melton, the two-point shot. No good and rebounded by the Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert picking up the rebound. D'Angelo Russell with the ball. Russell going to his left. Russell kicks it over to Karl-Anthony Towns for 3. That's no good and rebounded by the Sixers. Apparently, Karl-Anthony Towns got his Shaved a lot of his hair off, but Embiid gets over to Milton. Milton, the three-point shot is good. Shake Milton with the three ball. Joel Embiid with the assist. Here we go. Here's Karl-Anthony Towns with the ball. Towns gets it over to Gobert. Gobert keeping it alive, but that's a turnover. Melton bringing it down the other end. Melton loses it, kicks out for Embiid. Embiid out to House. House the pump fake up the baseline. House the reverse layup, no good, and rebounded by the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards bringing it down the floor. Edwards putting moves on. Edwards looking. Edwards still looking. Edwards kicks it out. Russell for three is good from the wing. Embiid coming up a little slow, but hopefully he's all right. As Milton brings the ball down the floor, lost it, but the Sixers will keep it with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Game's tied up at 5 right now, ladies and gentlemen. As the inbound is in, it's inbound to Milton, back over to DeAnthony Melton. Melton around the screen, gets it over to Milton. Milton, the three-point shot is good. Shake Milton with another three ball. Give him 6 points tonight. Russell gets it over to Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns gets it over to Gobert. Gobert with the pump fake. Gobert, the two-point shot, no good, and rebounded by the Sixers easily. Milton bringing this ball down the floor. Milton gets it over to Melton. Melton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid battling with Gobert, kicks it out. Daniel House for three from the wing. No good, rebounded by the Timberwolves. It'll be taken down the other end here by D'Angelo Russell. Russell going to his right. Russell coming inside. Russell kicks it out to Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns matching up with Tucker. Towns coming in, spinning. The two-point shot, no good. And Gobert does not get the rebound. Swats it right to P.J. Tucker, who gets it over to DeAnthony Melton. Sixers pick up the rebound. Melton bringing it down the other end. Melton putting moves on. Kicks it out for Embiid. Embiid coming inside. Embiid, the layup is good. And we're putting an and one on top of that. Foul called against Rudy Gobert. Embiid to the line for one more. Embiid says, get out of my way. You're no match for me. Sit down. And no one's going to challenge anything for any flagrants. Embiid with the second most points in the NBA with 32.3 per game. And the extra free throw is good for Joel Embiid. So the Sixers will lead at 11-5 with 8 minutes left to go in the first. D'Angelo Russell bringing the ball down the floor. Matching up with DeAnthony Melton, gets it over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards coming inside. Edwards, the two-point shot is good. Anthony Edwards has definitely been special ever since being drafted into the league by the Minnesota Timberwolves with, I do believe, the number 1 overall pick in the 2020 draft, I do believe, as Embiid gets this over to Melton. Melton's wide open for three. And we're going the other way, unfortunately, as this is going to be an offensive foul. In the last 3 games, Joel Embiid with 133 points, 32 rebounds, 22 assists, and 12 blocks. First player in NBA history with that plus stat line. I think maybe in Sixers history or maybe over a certain amount of years. As Daniel House with the ball gets over to Shake Milton. Milton over to Embiid. Embiid back to Milton. Milton kicks it out. Milton kicks out to Tucker over to Embiid. Embiid the fake pass. Embiid loses it. Embiid trying to get it back, and Embiid will lose it out of bounds, and it'll be Timberwolves basketball. D'Angelo Russell with the ball gets over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards, the three-point shot is no good, and the Sixers will get the rebound. Embiid gets this over to DeAnthony Melton. Melton, the step-back three is no good, and it's going to be rebounded here by the Timberwolves. Rudy Gobert picking up that rebound right behind Karl-Anthony Towns. Edwards bringing it. The ball inside. Layup is good, and he'll go to the line for one more as the foul will be called against Joel Embiid. Embiid wants to have a word with the female ref, but at the same time, Embiid does not want to get teed up or anything like that for any technicals or anything. And with 6:45, let's go in the first. Timeout is called. Sixers lead by 2, 11-9 with an and one opportunity coming up here for Anthony Edwards. Who do you think will win between USC and UCLA in the Rose Bowl from Pasadena, California? USC will win that one, man. I mean, I think the Trojans have a good advantage either way, but you never know because this week, pretty much this whole day has been with a handful of upsets. And not upsets, but a handful of near upsets. So you never know, but I think USC pulls this one out. Thoughts on TCU winning against Baylor by a final score of 29-28 on 40-yard game-winning field goal by Griffin Kell. You know, it's like I said before, it's been that kind of day today where it's almost been near upsets for a lot of teams around the league. You know, Michigan almost got upset. TCU almost got upset by Baylor. Ohio State almost got upset by Maryland. It's just been a crazy day today, man. I'm not even going to lie to you right now. It's just been a crazy day when it's come to some of these games and with some of these considered to be upsets. Almost. But yeah, guys, so far, appreciate everybody for coming through and tuning in. We got 5 people in the chat. Appreciate everybody for coming through on this Saturday night. If y'all have not done so, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Everyone share out the stream so we can bring more viewers up in this chat. You know, Notre Dame was going to win that game anyway, man. I know they were ranked, 20th in the nation. They were ranked at a very low rank, but they were going to beat Boston College. They were going to. Even though they've been off to a slow start this season, you know, it's been up and down with injuries and all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, it is what it is, and Notre Dame gets a win. That's a fact. Here we go. We're about to get right back to the game here. Asia Roberson, what's going on? Appreciate you for coming through. Appreciate you for coming through, Asia Roberson. Hit that like button if you have not done so. Appreciate you for coming through. Most points scored in a 3-game span, 76ers franchise history. Embiid is 6th all-time in Sixers franchise history. And is actually tied with Wilt Chamberlain in that category back a while ago. As the N1 opportunity for Anthony Edwards is good. So now the Timberwolves are down by 1, 11-10. And on a 5-0 run in the last minute and 10 seconds. As Melton with the ball looks, gets it over to Daniel House. House gets it over to Embiid. As Thibault is also checked into the game here for the Sixers, gets it over to DeAnthony Melton. Melton looking, going to his right. Melton gets it over to Daniel House, and Daniel House is going to lose it. Karl Anthony Towns picks it up, gets it over to D'Angelo Russell, and Karl Anthony Towns with the layup is good. In terms of the height, it's really an unfair advantage for the Sixers because Embiid's the tallest guy on the floor, and it would have been better if they would have had Tobias Harris. But Embiid trying to spin, shoot it, and fade. It is good for Joel Embiid. Or rather, that is 5 points tonight for Joel Embiid. I was going to say that's his first bucket, but forgot he had an N1 opportunity after battling with Rudy Gobert. As D'Angelo Russell gets this over to Anthony Edwards, back to Russell. Russell back to Edwards. Edwards looking against Thibault around screen. Edwards kicks it out to Gobert. Or rather, that's Karl Anthony Towns. Towns pulls one up. It's no good, and it'll be a shot clock violation here against the Timberwolves. Here we go. Here's Melton with the ball. Gets over to P.J. Tucker, over to Embiid. Embiid matching up with Rudy Gobert. Embiid will lose it. I'm not going to say it was a foul here against Rudy Gobert. This is number 2 against Rudy Gobert tonight. I saw the new Black Panther movie. OMG. This one was better than the first one. Good no age. I mean, I'm not a movies guy. Don't get me wrong. I am not a movies person. Call me crazy. I am not a movies person. You can call me crazy all you want. I don't watch that many movies. I don't. Because every time I do, I will fall asleep. I'm not kidding. And Melton loses it, but is able to get it back before the half-court violation. Melton able to get it back, looking, gets it over to Embiid. Embiid, the three-point shot at the top of the key is good. Joel Embiid, look out. Embiid getting back to work, right back to where he started. Edwards gets this over to Karl-Anthony Towns, battling with P.J. Tucker. Towns, looking. Towns, the layup. It was good, but a foul was called on the floor against P.J. Tucker. So this will just be an inbound pass here for the Timberwolves. Oh, Asia. I just appreciate you for being a true supporter, Asia. Appreciate you for just supporting the channel. As this one, Karl-Anthony Towns misses the layup, but it goes out of bounds. It was out of bounds by P.J. Tucker to touch the ball last. 4:53 left here in the first quarter. I'm telling you, man, P.J. Tucker has been some pesky guy. Now Paul Reed to check into the game here to replace P.J. Tucker. Paul Reed's checked into the game now. The shot here is good. Shot was made. I believe Kyle Anderson was the one to put that in. As Melton with the ball here gets it over to Embiid. Embiid on the fake pass. Embiid tries to kick it out to Thibault, and that's intercepted. Picked off by Karl-Anthony Towns. Lobbing it up for McDaniels. McDaniels with the layup is good. And just like that, it's a tie ball game here at 16. House gets it over to Embiid. Embiid the fake pass. Kicks out to Melton for three on the wing, and that is good for DeAnthony Melton to put the Sixers back up in front by 3. Just over 4 minutes left. I believe that is Anderson who kicks it out. And that is good for Karl-Anthony Towns, who Anderson did kick it out to. Melton kicks it out to Thibault, over to House, over to Embiid. Embiid the pump fake. Embiid coming inside. Embiid kicks it out to Milton. Or rather, it's Paul Reed. Embiid faking, and it'll be a travel here against Joel. And Embiid's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, I did see the travel. It is a travel on Embiid. I did see it. Taurean Prince also checking into the game here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns with the ball, kicks it out. Turn 12, Taurean Prince. Prince, the layup, no good. Rebounded by the Sixers. Melton with the ball. Melton, the two-point shot, no good. Paul Reed does not get the rebound, and the rebound is picked up by, I believe, number 5. Or rather, that's Anthony Edwards. As Edwards gets the layup to go, and one for Anthony Edwards as well. And he'll head to the line for one more as a foul is called on Paul Reed. I think I heard that George Niang's checking into the game here for the Sixers. Most likely, if he is coming in, he'll most likely replace Daniel House, as the free throw is good. Niang has officially checked in. So we're going with a little bit of bully ball here, technically. Niang gets it over to Milton. Milton kicks it out. Thibault, the three-point try. No good. Way off the mark. And rebounded by the Timberwolves. I knew this game was going to be a struggle for the Sixers, coming off the back-to-back and the fact they're down 3 stars. As Edwards shoots a 3, that's good. Do not let Anthony Edwards get going. You cannot allow that whatsoever. Milton with the ball, puts one up. No good. And Taurean Prince to get the rebound here for the Timberwolves. As Karl-Anthony Towns with the ball, comes inside, puts one up for 2. No good. Paul Reed gets the rebound. And it'll be Sixers ball here. Looks like a foul is called against Karl Anthony Towns. Here we go. Here's Shake Milton with the ball. Kicks out to Georges Niang. Niang gets over to Thibault. Thibault gets over to Paul Reed. Reed gets it over to Niang. Niang shooting the three. No good, and rebounded by the Timberwolves. 2 minutes left in the first quarter. Another three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by the Sixers. Embiid bring the ball down the other end. Embiid coming inside. 2-point shot, no good, but he'll head to the line for two. Foul, I think, is called here against Karl Anthony Towns, I do believe. And honestly, man, I think we need to make a lineup change because, I mean, Embiid's almost played the entire first quarter again. How many times are we going to have Joel Embiid play the entire first quarter? I do not like it. We need to either be playing Paul Reed at the 5 or we need to be playing Montrezl Harrell at the 5. Pick your choice. Either go small ball center or go with Montrezl Harrell. Stop playing Embiid the entire first quarter. This is what I keep getting sick and tired of every single time I watch the Sixers. Having Embiid play an entire quarter is unacceptable. I know we are down 3 starters. I understand. But give Montrezl Harrell or Paul Reed some time at the 5. I'm sick and tired of it. Thoughts on Stanford winning by a score of 17-6 against Cal Berkeley. You know, they're winning against a small school. And, I mean, it was a sloppy game, but at the end of the day, Stanford gets the win. You know, solid school. But, I mean, when they're beating, like, some of these, like, mediocre to subpar teams like Cal Berkeley, when they're beating teams like that, it really doesn't show much. Another 10 in both Stanford and Cal, so it's hard to pick who's going to win the football game. Oh, that's cool, man. That's the first time I ever knew that, I think. But good to know that your mom went to both Stanford and Cal. But here we go, man. Got to get right back to work here. Embiid was fouled, so he'll now be shooting free throws. Here we go, Joel Embiid to the line for two. 44 plus points per game, 10 plus rebounds per game, 7 plus assists per game in a 3-game span since 1982-1983. Embiid has joined the list with just 2 other players in Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. Kevin Durant's done it once, and Russell Westbrook's done it 4 times in both their careers. And Embiid now joins the list. Second one for Embiid is no good at the line, so the Sixers will still be down by 5. With minute 45 left to go in the first quarter. As number 4 kicks us out to Karl Anthony Towns, over to Taurean Prince. Over to Anderson for the 2-point try with the layup. No good, and a foul called here against Joel Embiid. Kyle Anderson in the line for 2. First one is good for Kyle Anderson. I knew this game was going to be a struggle, ladies and gentlemen. In this one, I wanted the Sixers to take at least one of these two. I want the Sixers to take at least one of these two games. They took it last night against Milwaukee. We're going to see what happens tonight against the Timberwolves. Montrezl Harrell's checked into the game for the Sixers. So Embiid goes to the bench here with 1:29 left here in the first. Minnesota on an 11-1 run in the last 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Milton bringing the ball down the other end. Milton looking. Milton spinning. Milton looking for lanes. Milton, the 2-point try. No good. Rebounded by Kyle Anderson for the Timberwolves. Anderson brings us down the other end. Anderson gets it over to Cat, and Cat easily just puts it in. Big man Karl Anthony Towns putting one in for 2, and just like that's a 13-1 run in the last 3 minutes. Montrezl Harrell gets it over to Shake Milton. Milton gets it over to Harrell. Harrell down to House. House in the corner for 3. That's good for Daniel House. Sixers fans need something to be excited about here. Let's go. Down by 6. McLaughlin kicks it out. Out to Noel, and Noel able to draw the contact, get the bucket, and 1 as the foul is called here against Paul Reed. Paul Reed all over Jalen Noel on this play. And Jalen Noel is going like, and 1. Jalen Noel, shut up. Free throw is missed off the back of the rim for Jalen Noel. Sixers have an opportunity to keep this game at least 6 or 5 points apart. As Milton gets this over to Montrezl Harrell. Harrell gets it over to Milton. Milton looking on a double team. Milton tried to kick it out to Daniel House, but the pass is way too high over the head of Shake Milton and Kyle Anderson. And we're going the other way again. Most likely the last play here of the first quarter. Here's Karl Anthony Towns with the ball, matching up with Shake Milton. Why is Shake Milton on Karl Anthony Towns? Or rather, that's McLaughlin, who gets it over to Cat. Cat is able to get this one to go. Under 5 seconds left. Milton bringing the ball down the other end. Gets it over to Harrell. The points will not count. And we go to the end of the first quarter with the Sixers down by 10. Figured this was going to be a struggle. And so far, it has been a struggle here for the Philadelphia 76ers as they're down by 10, 33-23 to the Minnesota Timberwolves as we now head to quarter number 2. He tweaked his foot or ankle and now is out for at least 3 to 4 weeks. He had an MRI done today and now he's going to be out for almost a month. Prayers up to Maxey, man. Hopefully the MRI went well. Hopefully he gets back in that 3-week span. But if it has to be like 4 weeks or anything like that, then just hope he gets back to full strength. And Harden's also got 2 weeks left until he returns to the starting lineup for the Sixers. So we'll see how this is going to play out, man. We're going to see how this is going to play out. And hopefully we get Tobias back soon. So we're hopefully only missing Maxey at the time. We're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens. Guys, appreciate everyone hitting that like button and supporting, man. If you haven't done so, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Everyone share the stream so we can bring more viewers up in the chat, man. Let's go. I share pretty much on every platform that I could. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Based on how Maxey looked when he was going to the locker room, he did not look good. So, something had to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad. But it stinks. Hopefully the MRI went well for him, though, to say the least. Here we go. Here's Shake Milton with the ball to begin the second quarter. Milton going to his right. Milton gets it over to Niang. Niang over to Montrezl Harrell. Harrell looks for his options, comes inside. Harrell, the scooping layup is good for Montrezl Harrell to begin the second quarter. Sixers looking for a more explosive quarter here in the second. McLaughlin gets it over to Naz Reid. Reid, the layup, no good. Reid gets his own rebound. Over to Anderson, who gets it to go for 2. And just like that, the Minnesota Timberwolves back up by 10. Sixers bring it down the floor. Milton gets it over to Daniel House. House over to Tucker. Tucker back to House. House going to his left. Kicks it out to Milton. Milton coming inside. Milton spinning. Milton, the 2-point shot is good. So Milton with the 2-pointer cuts this down to single digits yet again. McLaughlin gets it over to Naz Reid. Back over to McLaughlin. Over to Anderson. Anderson looking for his options. Gets it over to Naz Reid. Back to Anderson. Anderson, the 2-point shot. That is airballed, and it's going the other way. But here we go. We're going the other way now. 35-27 is your score. Milton bringing the ball down the other end. Matched up with McLaughlin going to his right. Milton looking for his options. Gets over to Niang, over to Harrell. And Harrell wants a foul. Not going to get it. Anderson kicks it out. And a 3-point try is good for Minnesota. That is going to be number 4 for the Minnesota Timberwolves, and that's Jalen Noel. Here we go. Here's Montrezl Harrell. Gets it over to Shake Milton. Milton gets it over to Montrezl. Kicks it out to Niang. Niang, the 3-point shot. No good. Rebounded by the Minnesota Timberwolves again. Anderson kicks it out. Wide open is Noel for 3. No good, and Daniel House gets the rebound. Why do we watch shots? Stop watching. Here's Montrezl Harrell with the ball. Harrell coming inside. Harrell, the shot is no good, and Harrell's going to head to the line for 2. Foul to be called here against Naz Reid. Montrezl Harrell to go to the line for 2 here for Philly. First one for Montrezl Harrell at the line is good. Shake Milton off to a solid start here for the Sixers with 8 points. Montrezl Harrell is starting to get on the board here. See Maxey on the bench with Tobias Harris and James Harden, all 3 of them in street clothes. Second one for Montrezl Harrell, no good. Niang tried to get the rebound, but is picked up by Kyle Anderson. Anderson bringing it down the other end. And Anderson is going to be fouled here by Montrezl Harrell. And Montrezl is like, what do you mean? Montrezl is all confused. And Montrezl is like, you got to be kidding me. I'm not sure if a lineup change is being made again, but Montrezl is going to the bench. Looks like we're going to play PJ Tucker at the 5 and play a little bit of small ball. As McLaughlin gets it over to Naz Reid. Reid gets this over to McLaughlin again. McLaughlin matching up with Daniel House. McLaughlin, step back 3, high arcing, no good. PJ Tucker gets the rebound. He gets it over to Shake Milton. Milton with the ball, matching up with Naz Reid, gets it over to Milton, over to House. House matching up with McLaughlin. Gets it over to Milton. Melton looking. dancing. And a foul will be called here against Jalen Noel. Foul number 1 on Jalen Noel tonight. And the inbound pass is in. Milton gets this over to DeAnthony Melton. Melton gets it over to Shake Milton. Milton looking, spinning. Milton has to take the shot, and it goes in as the shot clock expires. Shake Milton with a big shot. Anderson gets this over to Naz Reid. Reid gets this over to Jalen Noel. Noel drops it down to Naz Reid, and then Naz Reid with the easy layup. This is what happens when you have a mismatch at center. And when you go small ball, this is the only issue that you have. Tucker gets it over to Niang. Niang coming inside. Niang, the finger roll layup is good, and he's going to the line for one more. 3-point opportunity here coming up for Georges Niang. Foul yet again here on Naz Reid. Beautiful spin by Shake, and beautiful shot too. So it goes around the rim and in. And then Georges Niang with the finger roll layup. Going to the line for one more. Good finish right there by George. That's what we need from him as a bench piece, man. As a good role player. We saw from him off the bench. He's averaged 9 points a game this season. I shot pretty well. 48% from the field and about, probably I'd say, I think it's at like 47 or 43% from three-point range. So Georges Niang's had a really good season so far to begin. Only thing that needs to amp up a little bit is the points per game. But here's Naz Reid with the ball. Reid matching up with Tucker. Spinning. Kicks it out. Kicks it out to Jalen Noel. Noel coming inside. Noel, the 2-point shot is good. So just like that. Or rather, that was Taurean Prince, I should say. As Shake Milton has the ball here. Milton kicks out to Niang. Niang coming inside. Niang, the layup is good. And just like that, you can send Niang back to the line for another. Another one. Another one. Get another one. Another one. Let's go, George. Niang right by the defender. Going to the line for one more just like that. Niang's just been the best player off the bench for the Sixers so far this season in my eyes. I think he's been the best bench piece. He has been the Sixers' sixth man. I'm not sure how close he can get to sixth man of the year, but I don't think he's close right now. But here we go. Kicked out to Naz Reid. Reid taking a 3-point shot. That is good for Naz Reid. And just like that, the Timberwolves are back up by 9. Here's Milton with the ball. Milton going to his right. Gets it over to Niang. Over to Daniel House. House stepping. The step back 3 is good for Daniel House. Daniel House getting that. And a beautiful play made right there. I believe that was, I think, Jaden McDaniels. But Niang kicking it out to House over to Tucker. Tucker has this one tipped, but it is able to get over to Melton. Melton kicks out to Tucker. Tucker barely able to get it out. House has it. House, the layup, no good. And the Timberwolves get the rebound. D'Angelo Russell in the game, back in the game here for the Timberwolves. Gets it over to Noel. Noel, the 2-point shot is good, and he'll head to the line for one more. And a timeout to be called here, I do believe, by Doc Rivers. Talk things over with his team. I mean, guys, I'm really not expecting a lot here because, I mean, the Sixers are down 3 of their starters. And, you know, it is the second of a back-to-back. I'm happy we were able to get it done without Tyrese Maxey, James Harden, and Tobias Harris yesterday. Well, Maxey for at least the first half, and then the second half he didn't play, and then Harden, and then Tobias. So I'm glad we were able to get it done last night, but tonight it's going to be one of these games where, you know, the Sixers are down 3 of their starters, throwing a back-to-back. I'm not expecting a lot with them down 3 starters and on a back-to-back, but we'll see what they can do. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat, man. Shout out to the 7 people. Guys, if y'all have not done so, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys know. We got 6 people in the chat and just 4 likes. Everyone hit that like button. Let's go. Here we go, man. Here we go. All right, Joel Embiid checking back into the game here for Philly. Joel Embiid back in the game, so small ball is done for the first half, most likely for now, unless if Embiid gets in foul trouble. First one for Jalen Noel, and one opportunity is good for him as well. So the Minnesota Timberwolves to lead this game 50-39. And here we go. 6.5 minutes left here in the first half. Milton drops it down to Tucker. Tucker spinning, and Tucker gets it taken away from him. Kick it out to Russell. Kicking out to the corner for 3. No good. Gobert gets the rebound. Gobert spinning. Layup is no good. Gobert again with the layup is no good. And Embiid's holding on to it. And they'll keep it going the other way, with the Sixers taking possession. And, Rudy Gobert not great on offense. I mean, he should have had layups multiple times here for the Timberwolves. But Embiid to the line for 2 here for the Sixers, and the Sixers are on the bonus as well. 3 for 4 from the field for Joel Embiid. First free throw is good for Embiid. So Embiid, the first player tonight, I do believe, to hit double figures for the Sixers. Actually, no, it was Shake Milton. So Sixers now with 2 players in double figures. Second one from B is also good at the line. Timberwolves leading scorer being Anthony Edwards. Here we go. Here's D'Angelo Russell getting this over to Anthony Edwards. Try to get it over to D'Angelo Russell. And it'll be out of bounds. Sixers ball. And Anthony Edwards is like, my bad. My bad. 7 turnovers for the Sixers. That's just the Timberwolves' 3rd turnover of the first half. Here we go. They'll bring it down the floor. Milton with the ball. Going to his right. Gets over to Embiid. Embiid. Tried to lay it up. They're going to keep it with the Sixers. Sixers still remain in the bonus right now. Daniel House Jr. checking back in. So it looks like they're changing the call to a turnover by the Sixers and Timberwolves ball. So they changed the call last second, apparently, like they always do. Here's Rudy Gobert with the ball. Gobert, the layup is good that time for Rudy Gobert to put the Timberwolves up by 11, 52-41. 5.5 minutes left here in the first half. Melton gets this over to Joel Embiid, over to Shake Milton. Milton around the screen. Milton, the layup. No good, and Milton cannot get the rebound. Come on, Shake. Russell kicks it out. Edwards, the three-point shot. No good, and Daniel House gets the rebound. No field goals for the Sixers in the last 2 minutes and 10 seconds. House gets it over to Embiid. Embiid gets it over to Melton. Melton going to his left. Coming inside. Melton kicks it out for Embiid. Tries to do so. It'll stay deflected off of D'Angelo Russell, and it will stay Sixers ball with 5 minutes left in the first half and 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Jalen Noel to head himself to the bench. Believe Karl Anthony Towns back in the game for the Sixers as well. As Melton with the ball looks. Melton at three at the top of the key. No good, and rebounded by the Timberwolves. And here's D'Angelo Russell with the ball. Russell, the two-point shot is good. And now the Timberwolves up by 13. House on the pump fake. House going to spin. Kicks it out to Melton. Melton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid gets it over to Milton. Milton coming inside. Tries to kick it out for Embiid, and that's another turnover. And McDaniels with the two-point shot. No good, and Rudy Gobert able to put it back and put the Timberwolves up by 15 with 4:10 left to go in the first half. They'll kick it out. Melton in the corner for three, no good, and rebounded by the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards with the ball, kicks out to Rudy Gobert. Gobert taking a three. This is very rare, and of course he makes it. That is so rare by Rudy Gobert. That is just so rare, dude. That is so rare that you see Rudy Gobert shooting a three. That is extremely rare, and of course, Rudy Gobert goes out there and makes it. Another timeout by the Sixers. Guys, we've got 6 people in the chat, 4 people on the like. Everyone hit that like button and subscribe if you guys are new. And everyone share the stream as well. We need more viewers up in the chat. Let's go. But yeah, guys, this is just a rough first half. But what are you going to expect, man? This is the second of a back-to-back. This is the second of a back-to-back. And the Sixers are missing 3 of their stars. So what are you going to expect? What are you going to expect, man? I mean, I know we got it done without 2 of our starters last game as well as Maxey at the end of the first half. But the fact that this is on a back-to-back and we're officially missing 3 of our starters is just hurting our team. You know, I hope Tobias Harris is back soon. I wanted Tobias to play this game tonight, but he is still dealing with hip soreness, so he's not playing. James Harden's out for another 2 weeks yet. And then Maxey, we just got the word he is out 3 to 4 weeks with the foot/ankle injury. So it is unfortunate, but Sixers down by 18, 59-41. Rather, I think that was Karl Anthony Towns knocking it down. Timberwolves on a 14-2 scoring run right now. They're up 18. Let's go. Milton bringing the ball down the other end. Milton looking. Melton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid pump faking. Embiid, the 2-point shot, way off target and rebounded by the Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns picking up the rebound. Towns gets it over to D'Angelo Russell. Russell coming inside, lobs up for Gobert, and that is good. And just like that, the Timberwolves up by 20. No field goals for the Sixers in over 4 minutes. Melton looking. Pump fakes. Kicks it out to House. House gets it over to Embiid. Embiid gets over to Milton. Milton, a 3-point shot is good that time. And that is where the field goal drought is going to stop. 2:50 left in the first half. D'Angelo Russell gets it over to Rudy Gobert. Gobert gets it over to Russell. Back to Karl-Anthony Towns for 3 at the top of the key. No good. And the Sixers able to pick up the rebound. Melton with the ball. Gets over to Embiid. Embiid did not see it coming for a second. But Embiid is able to pick it up. Embiid on the pump fake. Embiid taking a 3. No good. And Karl-Anthony Towns picking up the rebound. Russell gets over to McDaniels. Over to Cat. Back to McDaniels. Back to Cat again. And it is a travel called on the Timberwolves. And we're going the other way. Niang back in for the Sixers. I believe Shake Milton went to the bench, but D'Anthony Melton gets us over to Joel Embiid. Embiid gets it over to Daniel House. House back out to Embiid. Embiid the pump fake. Embiid coming inside. Embiid the layup is no good. He'll head to the line for 2. Actually, will be a goaltend, so Embiid will pick up the 2 points immediately. As yes, it did go off the backboard before Rudy Gobert did end up touching it. But Embiid also to go to the line for what looks like 1 more. As this one for Joel Embiid is good. And the Sixers cut this down to a 14-point deficit. 1:50 left here in the first half. D'Angelo Russell with the ball. Russell directing traffic, gets it over to Karl-Anthony Towns. Towns gets it over to Russell, back to Towns. Towns looking. Towns loses it, kicks out to Russell. Over to Anderson. Anderson trapped. Edwards, the 2 is good. Teals up by 10. It's more than that, man. It's more than that. Anthony Edwards with 13 points tonight. Melton, the 3-point shot. That's no good as it rims out and it's rebounded by the Timberwolves. Russell gets this over to Anderson, who gets it over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards looking. Edwards matching up with Niang. Edwards, the 3. No good, and the putback is no good either by Kyle Anderson. Here's D'Anthony Melton with the ball. Melton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid being called for the travel. Another travel and another turnover. Embiid's like, come on, man. That's 10 turnovers in the first half for the Sixers. It's unacceptable, man. $40 left here in the first half. Embiid with 5 turnovers but 14 points. Russell gets us over to Anderson, back to Russell. Russell, the 2, no good, and rebounded by the Sixers. Melton with the ball. Just matching it with D'Angelo Russell. Just going to dribble the ball for a little bit. Melton going to his right. Kicks over to Embiid. Embiid, the shot for 2, no good, but he will be fouled and will head to the line for 2 free throws. Foul being called here against Karl-Anthony Towns. It honestly might help if you take out one of the big men and foul them out, whether if it is Karl-Anthony Towns or Rudy Gobert. It really will help if you take out at least one of their big men. As the first one for Joel Embiid at the line is good. That'll be point number 15 on the night for Joel Embiid. This is a 15-point game between the two teams. Taurean Prince back in the game here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. T-Wolves will have one more shot. 15 points for Embiid. Make it 16 with the second free throw being made. As Anthony Edwards bring the ball down the other end. And it will be an illegal screen here against the Timberwolves as Daniel House got sent flying. And hopefully Daniel House is all right as he will get up off the floor and looks like he's okay. As yes, this was easily an illegal screen here by Rudy Gobert. Or rather, why do I keep thinking that's Rudy Gobert? That's obviously Karl-Anthony Towns. I just can't stand this hairdo by Karl-Anthony Towns, man. I always think that's Rudy Gobert all the time. As Melton puts it up, that is good with 9/10 of a second left. And Embiid letting it go and almost made it towards the end of the half, but the Sixers will cut it down to a 12-point deficit. Going into the half, Sixers down by 12, 63-51 to the Minnesota Timberwolves as we approach halftime here in Philadelphia. But yeah, guys, the Timberwolves are now up by 12 points over the Sixers at the end of the first half. But yeah, guys, I have seen comebacks in the Sixers when they're down by like this much. We saw it with the Bucks last night, I do believe. When we were down at one point, we're down by some points, and we ended up finding a way to come back and win. Can we see the same story tonight? I really am not thinking so because we're down 3 of our starters, second of a back-to-back. Players are probably exhausted right now, but we're going to see as the game goes on here. As we take a look here at the first half stats from the players and the team, and then we'll take the halftime break like we always do. So starting us off on the Timberwolves side, Anthony Edwards leading the way with 13 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. Karl-Anthony Towns with 12 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. Jalen Noel off the bench with 8 points, no rebounds, and an assist. D'Angelo Russell with 7 points, a rebound, and 5 assists. Rudy Gobert with 6 points and 8 rebounds. Naz Reid with 5 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Kyle Anderson with 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Taurean Prince with 2 points and 2 rebounds to conclude the first half for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now over to the Philadelphia 76ers side. Joel Embiid leading the way with 16 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. Following that up is Shake Milton with 13 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Daniel House with 8 points and 3 rebounds. George Niang with 6 points straight up. D'Anthony Melton with 5 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. And then Montrezl Harrell with 3 points, no rebounds, and an assist to conclude the end of the first half for your Philadelphia 76ers. Only 6 Philadelphia 76ers players have also scored as well. Now over to the team stats now. The Minnesota Timberwolves are shooting the ball 52% from the field to the Philadelphia 76ers 47.2%. The Minnesota Timberwolves are shooting the ball 35.3% from three-point range to the Philadelphia 76ers 43.8%. The Minnesota Timberwolves are shooting the ball 83.3% from the free throw line to the Philadelphia, and same with the Philadelphia 76ers. The Minnesota Timberwolves are, however, 5 for 6, while the Philadelphia 76ers are 10 for 12. In terms of total rebounds, Minnesota having the advantage in total rebounds 25-18, and same offensively 4-0. Minnesota also with more assists than the Sixers 17-9. Minnesota also with more blocks 1-0. Also with more steals goes in the Timberwolves' favor 4-2. The Timberwolves are also winning the turnover battle 10-5. The Timberwolves are also with more points in the paint right now through the first half, 34-18, and then a total of 19 personal fouls, 11 on the Timberwolves and 8 on the Sixers. So clearly, the majority of these categories all go in the favor of the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's just how well they have played. The only thing that doesn't go in their favor, whether if it is a tie or if it is in the Sixers' advantage, the only thing that is in the Sixers' favor is the three-point shooting, and the only thing that's tied with the Timberwolves is the free throw shooting. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is how we are going to conclude your first half here between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Minnesota Timberwolves, as we will go ahead and take the halftime break like we always do, ladies and gentlemen. You guys pretty much know the drill, man. Go get a snack, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, do whatever you guys need to do in order to get ready for the second half of this game between the Philadelphia 76ers and the Minnesota Timberwolves here in the Wells Fargo Center. And ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all back here for the second half. guys. I'm back here ready to go for the second half. Let's see if the Sixers can find a way to pull out a win here in this very tough competition. I'm doubting that it's going to happen, but, let's just see what the Sixers can do. Let's just see what they can do, man. But yeah, man, Karl-Anthony Towns putting in some big shots. I'm telling you, the new hairdo of Karl-Anthony Towns into this game against the Sixers is really messing me up with mixing him up with Rudy Gobert. It's really messing me up because this is not normally Karl-Anthony Towns' hairstyle, but apparently he went with it, so I like it, but it just is going to confuse me. But, Sixers got to find a way to, get a couple runs going, play some defense, keep shooting efficiently, hopefully. Hopefully get a few more scores going as well. I mean, Joel Embiid and Shake Milton are doing their thing tonight, which I really do like. Because, we're going to need someone else alongside Joel Embiid to step up in a big moment. And, Shake Milton so far has been that guy. George Niang, not with a lot of points. The T-Wolves must have been studying a lot of film on George Niang, and apparently they may or may not have found a way to lock him up in terms of keeping him out of the way of putting up a lot of points off the bench as a member of the Philadelphia 76ers. But we will see what happens here in the second half. We'll see if, the Sixers can pull this out or if the T-Wolves are going to hang on and stick around. It'll be tough, but we're going to see what the Sixers are made of in the second half and see what adjustments they're going to make. But yeah, man. Sixers down by 12, getting right here for the third quarter to start up here in a few minutes, just about. We'll see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens in the second half. We're going to see what the Sixers are made of. We're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see how the next few games go. Without our 3 starters and the fact that we're playing on a second of a back-to-back. We're going to see what happens. Hopefully Tobias Harris returns to the court soon. We don't know how long it's going to be until Tobias Harris does return to the court. We don't know how long it's going to be, so could be a tough road for the Sixers. James Harden returns in just 2 weeks, and then Maxey is most likely going to return in 3 to 4 weeks. So Harden and Maxey both most likely return in the month of December. Tobias Harris, it will be unknown when he will return to the court, but we are about to start the third quarter and about ready to begin the second half, so let's get it going. We're going to see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens, man. Now you all know in the second half of Sixers games, every time in the Wells Fargo Center, the opposing team with any opposing player misses 2 free throws, Sixers fans win Chick-fil-A nuggets from Chick-fil-A, called the Brickin' for Chicken. You guys probably know that by now, that they replaced the Frosty Freeze Out with the Brickin' for Chicken. So here we go, second half underway. Shake Milton starting out with the ball here. Milton gets it over to George Niang. Niang gets it over to D'Anthony Melton. Melton going to his right, gets over to Embiid. Embiid kicks out to Melton. Melton, a 3 from the wing. That's good for D'Anthony Melton to start off the second half. Here we go. Here's Anthony Edwards with the ball. Edwards gets this over to Rudy Gobert. Gobert gets it over to D'Angelo Russell. Russell gets it out in the corner for three, and that's going to be good for Jaden McDaniels. I believe it's Jaden, not Jalen McDaniels, I do believe. And it is Jaden McDaniels. So, and apparently also the Timberwolves got a steal, and it's out of bounds by the Sixers, I do believe. So the Timberwolves to get the ball right back here. And that's another turnover here for Philly. So that's 11 turnovers tonight by the Sixers so far. Anthony Edwards to go ahead and do the inbound pass as well. And I don't know what we're conversing here. I don't know what's going on. Like, what are they conversing here? Like, just do the inbound pass and get it over with. Like, what is so difficult? Why is this looking like it is rocket science right now? Just do the inbound pass. As Edwards inbounds this here to D'Angelo Russell. Russell being met by Embiid. Kicking this out to Edwards, out to Russell again. Russell coming inside. Losing the ball, but will be fouled by DeAnthony Melton. Yeah, guys, this in my eyes is looking like it's going to be a struggle. We're going to see what happens, man. D'Angelo Russell warming up at the free throw line. First one for D'Angelo Russell is good. So now the Timberwolves up by 13 can go up by 14 with the free throw here by D'Angelo Russell. D'Angelo Russell right now with 8 points, 6 assists, 3 for 5 from the field. Second one is good for D'Angelo Russell as well. And here we go. Here's Joel Embiid with the ball. Embiid, the 2-point try, no good. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards to bring it down the other end. Edwards, the 2-point shot, no good. And Rudy Gobert gets the rebound. Come on, Joel, you got to get on that. Gobert gets this over to McDaniels, and a foul will be called here against the Sixers. And a foul will be called here against Shake Milton. That's either second or third of the game. Jaden McDaniels here. Jaden McDaniels to the line to shoot two. First one is good for Jaden McDaniels at the line. Jaden McDaniels now hitting double figures. Second one is also good for Jaden McDaniels as well. Timberwolves up by 16. Milton coming inside, kicks it out. Daniel House on the pump fake. House kicking it out to Milton in the corner. Milton guarded by Gobert. Kicking it out to Niang. Over to House. House, the step back three is good for Daniel House. Here we go, about 10 minutes left as Russell kicks out to Karl-Anthony Towns, over to Russell for two. That's good for D'Angelo Russell. As Melton spins, comes inside, back outside goes DeAnthony Melton, kicks it out to Joel Embiid. Embiid out to Melton on the pump fake. Melton coming inside again. Melton, the layup, and the hook shot is good for DeAnthony Melton, actually. Actually goes with a hook shot, pulling off the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. As Anthony Edwards bringing it inside, kicking it out to D'Angelo Russell, who keeps it in play. Almost a half-court violation, and that will be good for D'Angelo Russell. I should say a backcourt violation. I knew what it was. I just said the wrong words out of my mouth. But Embiid gets over to Melton. Melton looking around the screen, gets it out to Milton. Milton on the pump fake. Milton, the 2-point try, no good. And Melton able to put it in, but a foul to be called here against the Timberwolves. And this will be against Jaden McDaniels. Milton to go to the line for 2 here for the Sixers. And Shake Milton right now with 13 points in the starting lineup. So with him getting a lot of time and a lot of minutes, putting in some work. First one is good to the line for Shake Milton. I'm telling you, man, this is going to be a rough next few games for the Sixers. You see Maxey in a walking boot between Harden and Tobias. Out 3 to 4 weeks, man. Here we go. Here's D'Angelo Russell with the ball. Russell going to his left. Russell, the three-point shot is good for D'Angelo Russell. They bring down the other end here with D'Anthony Melton. Melton coming inside. Kicks out to Embiid. Embiid looking. Embiid kicks out to Niang. Niang, the three-point shot. Good. George Niang getting that to go. Niang cutting it down to a 14-point deficit. Sixers down 78-64. Karl-Anthony Towns coming inside, kicks it out. Russell, another three-point shot. No good. Rebounded by the Sixers. Milton gets the rebound, gets it over to D'Anthony Melton. Melton being guarded by D'Angelo Russell. Melton loses it, but a foul to be called here on D'Angelo Russell, as he'll slip to the floor and will be tripped up. So it'll just be an inbound pass here for the Sixers. Melton tried to stay on his feet and stay on balance, but unfortunately he will fall to the floor. But fortunately it is an inbound pass and the Sixers will keep it. Milton with the ball, gets it over to Niang. Niang gets it over to Embiid. Embiid backing in, kicks it out. Niang, the three-point shot. No good, and rebounded by the Timberwolves. Karl-Anthony Towns getting the rebound, getting the serve to Anthony Edwards. Edwards coming inside. Edwards lobbing it up, and it's good for Rudy Gobert on the alley-oop. And timeout yet again called here by the 76ers. Doc Rivers not liking what he's saying. I wouldn't like it either if I was Doc Rivers at the end of the day. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's the second of a back-to-back, number one. And number two, we're missing 3 of our starters. So, like, what else do you want? If we were missing this many starters, or if all these players were like, if we weren't missing this many starters, and if we weren't on the second of a back-to-back, we'd probably be keeping it close, if not winning this game. TP1, what's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through. Said sorry for being late. You're all good, man. You're all good. Hit that like button as you come in here. Daniel Barry, Astros 2022 champs. What's going on, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through. Said Adrian Griffin, game winner. Yo, everyone. Hey, appreciate you for coming through, Daniel Barry. Hit that like button if you have not done so. I'm not sure that this is a different account if you just change it to Astros 2022 champs. Appreciate you for coming through, my guy. Hit that like button if you have not done so. I'm not sure if you just changed the name or if that's a whole different account. Appreciate you for coming through, man. All right, guys. Let's see what happens, man. I mean, it's a good chilling night in Philadelphia. Not a good score, though. Sixers down by 16, 80 to 64. Here we go. Here's Joel Embiid with the ball. Embiid gets this over to D'Anthony Melton, over to George Niang. Niang up the baseline. Niang, the layup is no good, and then Niang wants a foul, is not going to get one. Edwards will lose it to D'Anthony Melton. Melton, layup, no good. Niang cannot put it back. And Niang to hit the deck, but it's going to stay with the Sixers. Rudy Gobert on foul number 4 tonight. Tell you, man, eventually Rudy Gobert is going to need to sit on the bench. But Niang to go to the line for 2 here to cut into the lead here by the Timberwolves. First one for Niang is good at the line. Rudy Gobert working on 4 personals right now. He will go ahead and sit on the bench. Ten points for George Niang tonight. 3 for 7 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3-point range. Not what we expected from 3-point range here for George. But you can get whatever you can get on any given night. And the second one is also good for Niang to cut into the Timberwolves lead. 14-point deficit here for the Sixers. Here we go. D'Angelo Russell gets it over to McDaniels. McDaniels back to Russell. Over to Kyle Anderson. Out to Edwards in the corner for 3. That's no good. And rebounded by Kyle Anderson. Gets it over to Russell. Who shoots a 3. And it'll be a technical. And a technical foul called. Who are they calling a technical foul on? Did they call it on Sam Cassell? What do you mean? As a technical free throw is good here for Anthony Edwards. What in the world, dude? How is there a technical call on Sam Cassell? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. We have Sam Cassell still talking. It was a technical free throw and possession. As D'Angelo Russell gets over to Kyle Anderson. Anderson back over to Russell, over to McDaniels in the corner. McDaniels losing it. Sixers pick it up. Milton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid, layup, no good, but he'll head to the line for 2. Foul called against Anthony Edwards, I do believe. Oh, that's what you're talking about by the Adrian Griffin game winner. I just saw the notification. Trae Young to AJ Griffin for the win. Hey, good for the Hawks, man. Good for Adrian Griffin, AJ Griffin, whatever you want to call him. Good for him putting in a game winner like that. First one from B at the line is good to continue to cut into the lead for the Timberwolves. And Sam Cassell's like, come on, man. We got Sam Cassell just chuckling on the bench over here. Second one from B at the line is also good. Continuing to cut into the lead here for the Timberwolves. 13-point deficit here for the Sixers. 9 for 10 from B at the line with 18 points. Russell gets this over to Anthony Edwards. Back to Russell, who gets it over to Karl-Anthony Towns. Over to McDaniels. Over to Anderson. Anderson out to Towns. Towns on the pump fake. Towns kicks it out to Anderson. Anderson puts one up for 2. And Kyle Anderson getting the bucket and the end one opportunity as the foul is to be called here on Shake Milton. 6:16 left here in the third quarter. The and one opportunity for Kyle Anderson is missed at the line. Sixers still down by 15. Need a little glimmer of hope. Melton with the ball gets over to Embiid. Embiid matching up with Towns gets over to Niang. Niang on the pump fake. Niang the three-point shot. No good. And rebounded by DeAnthony Melton for the Sixers, who hustles for once. Melton out to House in the corner. House the three-point shot. No good. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Anderson, the three-point shot. No good. And the Sixers get the rebound. Melton drops it down to Melton. Melton up the baseline. Melton surrounded for dear life. Gets it out to Embiid. Embiid looking. Embiid, the two-point shot. No good, but he'll head to the line for two as a foul to be called here against Karl-Anthony Towns. That'll be the third on Karl-Anthony Towns tonight. See, that's the thing about having two centers on the floor at once in Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert. Both those players are going to foul a lot. You have Rudy Gobert on 4 fouls right now, and you have Karl-Anthony Towns with 3. That'd be a big advantage if you get at least one of those centers out. More likely, it'll be Rudy Gobert. First one's good for Embiid at the line. 10 for 11 for Joel at the free throw line tonight at the charity stripe. But now we have Jaden McDaniels going to the bench here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. McLaughlin back in the game for the Timberwolves, as well as Taurean Prince, and the second one is good for Embiid as well. Timeout called here, I think it is by the Timberwolves, and yes, it will. Most likely it is just the lineup change, most likely because they do have a 13-point lead right now. But at the end of the day, they're still up by 13, man. So the Sixers, at the end of the day, man, they have a lot of work to do. But yeah, man, hopefully everyone's enjoying their Saturday night, man. Just wrapping up your day, watching some sports or something, whether if it's college football, basketball, anything like that. Hopefully you guys are enjoying your Saturday night. I'm getting ready. I can't wait for the Eagles game tomorrow, man. I mean, unfortunately, we're not going to be playing up against Frank Reich as the recent coach for the Indianapolis Colts, who got fired and now is replaced by Jeff Saturday with very little coaching experience and apparently got a pretty good win last week. And looking to do the same this week, but the Eagles looking to go out there and, have a big bounce-back game. This is a game where the Eagles need to bounce back. The Eagles need to bounce back after what happened last game against the Commanders. We got to find a way to get a win tomorrow, man. We got to find a way. And then, Thanksgiving's coming up as well on the 24th, which is in 5 days. Hopefully you guys eventually will enjoy your Thanksgiving, but we'll have content out before that, and we'll even have content out on Thanksgiving. Why? Because we grind out content. We've been grinding out every day to find a way to stay consistent, Been grinding out every day on this channel. Just as another way to, gain some more attention and hopefully gain some more subscribers. But yeah, man, this game, I mean, you have both centers in Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert both in a little bit of foul trouble here. You have Rudy Gobert with 4 fouls, and you have Karl-Anthony Towns on 3 fouls right now. But here we go. Here, as McLaughlin gets it over to Towns, getting this over to Anthony Edwards, lobbing it up, gets it over to Towns for 3. Foul to be called here against the Timberwolves, so we're going to go the other way with the Sixers down by 13. Daniel House falls to the floor. Sixers are also in the bonus. Foul called here against Taurean Prince for sending Daniel House to the floor. Here we go. Here's Shake Milton with the ball. Milton gets it over to Niang. Niang over to Daniel House. House on the pump fake many times. Gets it over to Embiid. And Embiid, the layup is no good, but he'll head to the line for two. Foul called against Karl-Anthony Towns, and that's going to be his fourth. 4 fouls for both Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert now. Embiid had an opportunity for an and one. Should have just slammed it down with a jackhammer. But now Karl-Anthony Towns on 4 fouls now here for the Timberwolves, as well as Rudy Gobert. First one for Embiid at the line is good. Naz Reid checking into the game here. He'll be in for Karl-Anthony Towns. So Cat and Rudy Gobert will both be on the bench. Naz Reid to go ahead and take the center position for both those players, depending who's at the 4 and who's at the 5. And B with 21 points right now. And the second free throw is also good for Joel Embiid. And B with only 8 shot attempts tonight. So a lot of the shooting from Joel Embiid has come from the free throw line. It's Taurean Prince in the corner for 3. That's good for Taurean Prince. We have got to lock down every spot where these guys are shooting. Melton with the ball. Melton looking. Melton going to dance. Melton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid matching up with Anthony Edwards. Embiid coming inside. Embiid loses it. And this is going to go the other way. And Embiid having a conversation here with the officials again. Embiid's like, save the conversations. McLaughlin going for 3 now. No good, and the Sixers will get the rebound here with DeAnthony Melton. Melton will get this over to Shake Milton, who will underhand it over to Daniel House for 3 in the corner. No good, rebounded by the Timberwolves. McLaughlin gets this over to Anderson. Over to, I believe that is Anthony Edwards. Edwards looking. Edwards coming inside, switching to Daniel House. Edwards kicks it out to Taurean Prince for 2. That is good for Taurean Prince. We got to be better than this, man. No field goals in the last 4 minutes and 40 seconds for the Sixers. Melton kicks it out to Embiid. Embiid. Layup. No good, and lots of contact. Foul called on Naz Reid. And man, we are really putting these centers in foul trouble. I think that's Naz Reid's first of the game. Is Embiid to go to the line for 2 more? First one, good for Joel Embiid at the line. PJ Tucker to check back in the game here for DeAnthony Melton. Daniel House still in this game. Niang looking to get going here. Second one from Embiid is good at the line. Man, Joel Embiid has been efficient from the free throw line in this game tonight. Coming off a great game yesterday, 15 of 16 for the line for Embiid. Anthony Edwards gets us over to McLaughlin, who gets it over to Naz Reid, and Naz Reid with an absolute one-handed jackhammer, getting that to go for 2. Last name of the one player was out of my head for a second, but I got it back with McLaughlin. But Embiid gets us over to Shake Milton. Milton loses it, out of bounds, Timberwolves ball. And we haven't put up a field goal in like over 5 minutes and 20 seconds. We need to get one soon. We can't keep relying on Joel Embiid to get free throws for us, man. We can't keep relying on that. We can't keep relying on Joel Embiid to shoot free throws, man. We need to score some actual shots here. We're going to have Paul Reed come in to play some small ball center. And McLaughlin gets this over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards, the two-point shot is no good, and it's rebounded by the Sixers. Milton picking up the rebound. Milton gets it over to Daniel House. House matching up with Kyle Anderson. House gets this over to Milton. Milton going to his right. Milton tries to get it over to Paul Reed and will be fouled by McLaughlin, I do believe. And Milton had the line for two. Sixers have still not scored a field goal in approximately about like 6 minutes by now. It's literally just been over and over and over again free throws for the Sixers constantly. A lot of them coming from Joel Embiid. Shake Milton with 15 tonight. First one for Milton is good at the line. At least some of our players are being efficient, you know. Joel Embiid being efficient from the line. Shake Milton doing very well from the line. Actually having a great game overall, as a matter of fact. Second one for Milton's also good at the line as well. Timeout called here by the Minnesota Timberwolves. And the Sixers are trying to stick into this one. The problem for the Minnesota Timberwolves, man, their centers are in foul trouble. And those two centers right there in Karl-Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert are some pretty big factors. I know they still have Anthony Edwards not in foul trouble right now. And they do still have Naz Reid. I understand all that, but if they have to go small ball center, they will go small ball center. But yeah, man, we're going to see how this one closes out. Sixers trying to stay in this one. We're going to see what happens, man. I mean, we're going to see what happens, man. Sixers are trying to stay in this. They're trying to say, we're not done yet. We're not giving up on a win. And the Timberwolves are trying to be like, yeah, guys, it's over. A little over 2.5 minutes left here in the third quarter, and then the whole fourth quarter left to play yet. I wouldn't close the door yet on the Sixers. They put two of the centers in foul trouble here for Minnesota. But here we go. Let's see what happens, man. I mean, we have over 2.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Leading scores tonight, Embiid leading the way with 24, Shake Milton with 17, Daniel House and George Niang with 11, and then DeAnthony Melton with 10, I do believe it said. But here we go. Here's McLaughlin who gets us over to Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards spinning, lose the ball, and a foul is called against the Sixers, and they will immediately get him right back up. Daniel House being called for the foul here. Both teams are now in the bonus. Why is Paul Reed even getting involved here with Anthony Edwards? You got to stay on Naz Reid, dude. You have to stay on Naz Reid without question, no ifs, ands, or buts. First one for Anthony Edwards at the line is good. That's the second personal tonight on Daniel House. Second one for Anthony Edwards is also good at the line. Anthony Edwards now at 16. The Sixers haven't put up a field goal in over 6 minutes. Like, what are we doing? Milton gets it over to Niang. Back to Milton. Milton looking. Putting it up for two. That's good. Finally. Thank you, Shake Milton. Thank you. Naz Reid. The two. No good. Or rather, that's Taurean Prince. He'll go to the line for two. Foul called on George Niang here. Taurean Prince to the line for two here for the Timberwolves. Sixers fans, they want their chicken nuggets from Chick-fil-A. They want it. First one is missed by Taurean Prince. Sixers fans have a chance to get the Chick-fil-A chicken. Taurean Prince, 7 points, 3 for 5 from the field. The boom whacker's going. Everything's going. Second one is good. And just like that, Taurean Prince is going to silence the crowd. Just like that. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Daniel House with the ball gets over to Niang. And a legal screen here on PJ Tucker. Dude, PJ, I know you're trying to be aggressive and all that, be that aggressive of a player, be a scrappy player, but you can't be coming in here with illegal screens. You can't be doing that. And the ball is loose, and Niang's going to pick it up. Kyle Anderson, I believe, was the one to lose it. Niang gets it over to Milton. Milton for three, stepping into one. No good. Taurean Prince getting the rebound. Prince gets it over to Anthony Edwards. Edwards coming inside. Layup is good. High off the glass. 18 on the night now for Anthony Edwards. Daniel House getting this over to Paul Reed, who kicks out to Niang. Niang coming inside. Niang, the two is good. Sixers trying to stay in this one, but the Timberwolves are trying to say, we're closing the door on you guys. Ball is loose. Picked up by Anthony Edwards. Edwards coming inside. And this will be a blocking foul against George Niang. And this will be reviewed to see if this was an offensive foul. Was George Niang in the position to be called for the offensive foul instead of a blocking foul? I think it could be close. I think the call could go either way. But we'll see, man. I mean, Sixers need everything they can get to have any chance of getting back in this game. To have any chance, they need every call. They need every call they can get right now. Sixers need everything they can get right now. Every call, every bucket, every bit of defense that this team has left in the tank for this game. Before, I believe it's on Tuesday when we go ahead and we play the Brooklyn Nets. Which, ladies and gentlemen, I should be live for that game as well, so be sure to come through and tune into that one on Tuesday. Niang, you got to have your hands by your side. I just saw the replay. He's got his hands up like this. Niang, for this to be an offensive foul, you got to have your hands by your side. You can't have them You can't have them up here, George. You can't have them up here like this. You got to have them at your side when you do it. Or it is going to be an offensive foul. Let's go. So is an offensive foul here on George Niang. I thought for a second Kate Scott said that it was going to stay as a blocking foul on George Niang, but it is going to be changed to an offensive foul, and the Sixers will take the ball. They will take possession here towards the end of the third quarter with about a minute left. Minute 2 seconds left here in the third quarter. Let's see what happens. Sixers down by 15, 95-80. Melton gets this over to Paul Reed. Reed gets it over to D'Anthony Melton. Melton over to Niang. Niang coming inside. Niang, the two is good. Niang trying to keep the Sixers in this one. Sixers trying to stay in this. Let's see what happens, though. McLaughlin with the ball. Coming inside, gets it over to Naz Reid. Naz Reid tries to get it to go. And they're going to call this one officially on George Niang. Sixers fans are upset. Everyone's upset right now with this call. Again, Niang, you got to put your hands at your side if you want an offensive foul. You got to stop putting your hands up. Stop putting your hands up, George. You got to keep your hands at your side. How many times do we need to say this? You got to keep your hands at your side. I know you're trying to block the shot out here and everything, but Naz Reid might have missed that anyway if he didn't make contact. Naz Reid with 8 points. Second one is also good for Naz Reid. 37 seconds left here. Clock is winding down. And they're calling a blocking foul against Montrezl Harrell. An illegal screen, an offensive foul, something. They called something here against Montrez. Looks like an illegal screen here. T-Wolves up by 15 still. 97-82. Melton with the ball. Melton looking. And this time a foul is called here. Looks like against the Timberwolves. Looks like it's against Minnesota this time. D'Angelo Russell being the culprit here for the foul in this case. Paul Reed to... Not sure what was going on here. So Shake Milton goes out here. So Paul Reed gets right back in when he thought he was going to the bench here. But Melton comes inside. Melton gets blocked here by McLaughlin. And Melton will go to the line for 2. That will be the 5th here on the night for... Wait, was that the 5th on Naz Reid? Wait. Did I just hear foul 5 on Naz Reid? There's no way he's got 5 fouls in this amount of time. First one for DeAnthony Melton is no good at the line. That is 5 fouls on Naz Reid. We are really putting these centers in foul trouble right now. The center that you put in if Naz Reid gets fouled out, it's going to have to be Karl Anthony Towns. As both free throws were missed, Melton able to pick it up. Paul Reed bring it down the other end. Reed gets it off, and he does get it off in time. Paul Reed able to get one off in time, get a layup off, and put the Sixers down by 13. The Sixers are trying to tell the Timberwolves that they're not going anywhere. B-ball Paul picking up the loose ball, putting it in, and it's a 13-point ball game here, 97-84 as we head to the fourth quarter with the Sixers down by 13. But looking to get a little life here as we head to quarter number 4. Sixers are trying to let the Timberwolves know that they're not going anywhere. They're trying to let them know that. But we got to keep scoring while we can. We need to take all the opportunities we can, and we need to keep scoring. We got to keep playing defense. We got to keep doing our job. But yeah, guys, here we go, man. We're here in the fourth quarter. Let's see what happens. Can the Sixers come out of this one with a come-from-behind win, or will the Timberwolves be able to hold on? Appreciate the 2 people still being here, by the way. If y'all have not done so, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys can do it. Everyone share out the stream so we can bring more viewers up in this chat for the fourth quarter and the remainder of the stream. Everyone share this out. Let's go. Hope y'all are enjoying your Saturday night. You know, just trying to wrap up your night watching, whether it's college football or the NBA. Just trying to wrap up your night. Just watching some sports, relaxing on the weekend. That's what I'm doing. Got to be up early tomorrow, but you know what? It is what it is. All three centers aren't in foul trouble here. Karl-Anthony Towns back in. Actually, no, that's Rudy Gobert, rather. So Gobert comes back in with 4 fouls. As Taurean Prince will be fouled here. And Montrezl Harrell going to be called for the foul. That's going to be his 3rd of the game. I'm telling you, if you keep putting centers in foul trouble, such as Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, and Karl-Anthony Towns, if you keep putting them in foul trouble, then I don't know who they would go with at center. And the Sixers fans will still not get the frickin' for chicken, as Taurean Prince will make the first one at the line. Taurean Prince, however, with 9 points, 3 for 5 from the field. Second one for Prince is no good, and Tucker gets the rebound. So Sixers now at the ball here, as DeAnthony Melton kicks it out to Montrezl Harrell. Harrell matching up here with Rudy Gobert. Gets it over to Melton. Melton looking. Gets over to Tucker. Over to Montrezl Harrell. And Melton's complaining about this call completely. How much more rest does Joel Embiid need, dude? I think it's soon time to get Embiid back in this game, because I'm not sure how many fouls he's on or how much rest he needs. I know he needs a lot because he's such a big dude that brings all the energy in the world. As Taurean Prince kicks us out to Noel. Over to D'Angelo Russell for 3 from the wing, and no good, rebounded by the Sixers. But it's soon time to get Embiid back in this game, I'm going to tell you that much. As Daniel House stays safe from going out of bounds, gets it over to Paul Reed. Reed gets it over to Melton. Melton for 3 is good. DeAnthony Melton with the big shot. Russell gets us over to Taurean Prince. Prince kicks it down to McDaniels for 3. It's no good, and they get their own rebound. And that one's good right there by Noel. 13-point game here in the 4th quarter. Melton with the ball. Melton taking another one, and he makes it again. DeAnthony Melton trying to say the Sixers are not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere until the clock hits double zeros. And you see Joel Embiid about ready to get back into this game. Gobert kicks it out. Noel for 3. That's good again. Embiid about to get right back in this game and get right back to work. Melton with the ball. Melton kicks it out to Paul Reed. Back to Melton. Melton loses it for a second. Gets it back. Melton looking. Gonna dance. Melton, step back 3. High arcing. Reed gets the rebound. Out to House. House at the top of the key. And House will be called for the carry. And is this the time where Joel Embiid gets back in this game? Because that is a foul called on Daniel House. And Embiid is back in this one. Embiid's back in the game here. Noel kicks us out to McDaniels, out to Prince in the corner for 3. No good. And the Sixers able to get the rebound here with Daniel House. And that one is intercepted. Picked up by Naz Reid. Or rather, Taurean Prince. Out to Russell. Out to Powell, who dribbled that ball out of bounds. And we're going the other way again. I'm telling you, the Sixers can start to create some shots. If Melton can continue to do his thing, and if Embiid can continue to play the way he did in the first half, Sixers may have a chance. A slim chance, but they might have a chance. Melton looking, flips up for Embiid. Embiid matching up here with Gobert. Embiid spinning. Embiid looking, dancing, fading for 2. It's no good and rebounded by the Timberwolves. We'll drop it down to D'Angelo Russell, and D'Angelo Russell going to get this to go for 2, and a timeout called here by Doc Rivers. 15-point lead here for the Timberwolves. But yeah, man. So far, it's looking like the T-Wolves are going to take a win in this one, but game's not over. Game's not over until the Fat Lady sings, man. Yeah, maybe we're going to see what happens. Not sure if the Sixers can pull this one out. Timberwolves trying to go ahead and close the door. I've seen the Sixers come from behind and win games before. Can they do it here? Not liking the chances, but again, we'll see. Yeah, guys, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, Sixers might be down right now, but they're trying to stay in this thing. They're trying to stay in this thing with the Timberwolves, man. They're trying to stay in this. Sixers trying to find a way to come out of here with the win, man. But here we go, man. Here we go. You see Naz Reid on the bench. You see Cat on the bench. Karl-Anthony Towns with just 12 points tonight, 5 for 12 from the field, 7 rebounds, 3 assists. So not really the biggest game in this one for Karl-Anthony Towns. Not sure if he's going to get back in it, but let's see what happens. Sixers down 15 by 15 with 8:40 left to go in the game. Milton bringing the ball down the floor. Milton looking. Milton coming inside. Milton is intercepted again. And they'll lob it up for Gobert, and Embiid says, no, sir. Paul Reed picks it up, gets it over to Milton this time, and Milton will put in the layup, and that one will be good for 2. This is Joel's house, man. In terms of the blocking, this is Joel's house, and there is a travel called here against the Timberwolves, and we're going the other way again. Called here against McDaniels. Here we go. Daniel House inbounds this here to Shake Milton. Milton coming inside. Milton kicks out for Embiid. Embiid battling here against Gobert. Embiid pump faking. Embiid the 2. No good. Embiid trying to get the rebound. Does do so. Embiid battling with Gobert. Embiid trying to take the 2. And a foul's called here against the Timberwolves. And this one is going to be against Noel. He's like, why me, man? Why me? As Gobert could not handle it, Embiid gets it back. Comes inside against Rudy Gobert. And then 3 Timberwolves players, and Embiid almost still gets that in. Taurean Prince going to the bench. First one for Embiid is good at the line. Embiid has just been so efficient at the line. Karl Anthony Towns coming back in, working on a 12-point performance tonight. Shooting under 50%. 25 points for Embiid despite shooting 4 for 11 from the field. Again, not going to get big percentage numbers from Embiid from the field because he is a center. But the second one is good for Joel Embiid. At the line, Sixers have shot very well from the free throw line, shooting 87%. D'Angelo Russell with the 2-point shot is no good, and it's rebounded by the Timberwolves. Towns gets this out to D'Angelo Russell. Russell back out to Towns. Towns on the pump fake, kicks it out. Shooting a 3, and a foul will be on the floor here against Paul Reed. So foul on the floor here. So no shooting fouls, no free throws, none of that nonsense. Under 7.5 minutes left here in the game. They inbound here to D'Angelo Russell. Russell kicks it out, and they'll shoot a 3 from the corner. It's no good, and Tucker gets the rebound. Right in front of Karl Anthony Towns. 7:15 left in the game. Milton with the ball. Coming inside. Reverse layup is good for Shake Milton. He'll cut this down to single digits. D'Angelo Russell gets it over to Noel. Someone over to Cat for 3. No good. Sixers get the rebound. Milton bringing it down the other end. Over to Embiid. Over to House. House back out to Embiid. Embiid drawing the contact. And was it a shooting foul? I think it was. And Embiid to head back to the free throw line, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken on this. I think it was a shooting foul here that Joel Embiid got fouled. The head motion by Shake Milton on that layup was phenomenal. Is Embiid at the line for 2? Yes, he is. First one is missed by Joel Embiid. That's either the first or second free throw Joel Embiid has missed tonight. Embiid has still dominated this game. 26 points. This is the second free throw Embiid has missed. 17 for 19 from the line. Second one for Embiid is good to make it an 8-point game here in the Wells Fargo. Timeout here by the Minnesota Timberwolves as the Sixers are on a 7-0 run here in the last minute and a half. 6:49 left here in this one. All right, guys, I'm back. Appreciate the 2 people still sticking around, man. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody still sticking through, man. We got 3 people still sticking around in the chat. Appreciate you guys. But, guys, this game is not over, man. By any means, this game is just not over. Sixers are refusing to quit right now. Sixers down by 8, 6:49 left to go. This game is not over by any means, ladies and gentlemen. Sixers are staying in this, man. Now, Embiid with 27 right now, Milton with 23, Melton with 16, Niang with 15 off the bench, Daniel House with 11. Daniel House by far playing his best game of the season. You know, everyone else, you know, Montrezl Harrell, Paul Reed, PJ Tucker, they've all been quiet tonight. But everyone else, though, is playing at a very impressive level right now. But let's see what happens, man. We're going to see what happens right now. Sixers with a total of 20 points off the bench. If it was for Georges Niang in the starting lineup and Tucker moved to the bench, the Sixers would only have 5. Because Paul Reed and Montrezl Harrell have the 5 bench points for the Sixers, apart from Georges Niang. Free throws, Joel Embiid is 18 for 20. Joel Embiid is shooting better from the free throw line than the entire Minnesota Timberwolves team. 18 for 20 for Joel Embiid, 16 for 20 for the Timberwolves. Russell gets this over to Towns, back to Russell, kicking this out. I believe that is Anthony Edwards directing traffic back to Russell. Russell going to his right, looking for his options. Russell looking, kicks it over to Towns. Towns, up the baseline is a shot clock violation, and we're going the other way. We're going this way. We're going the other way, ladies and gentlemen. Lockdown defense by P.J. Tucker. Hey, not everything's about points, man. I mean, P.J. Tucker may have been quiet on the offensive side, but he has been locking people up on the defensive side of things. So it's really not as quiet of a night as you think for P.J. Tucker. Apart from the 4 rebounds he's had, it's been a quiet night on offense, but P.J. Tucker's been doing a solid job on defense tonight, which is really what I like. But here we go, 6:20 left. Milton gets it over to Tucker. Tucker looking. Tucker gets it over to Daniel House. Trying to flip it over to Embiid, and it's intercepted by D'Angelo Russell. Russell bring this down the other end. Russell coming inside. Why isn't Embiid on D'Angelo Russell? Someone else get on him. Who kicks it out to Edwards. Edwards, the 2-point shot, no good. Tucker gets the rebound. That'll be rebound number 5 for P.J. Tucker tonight. Shake Milton with the ball. Going to his left end. Now will be another turnover for the Sixers. Edwards down the other end, and he'll miss the layup. And Daniel House getting the rebound, gets it over to Niang. Niang, the layup is good. And they're going to say it is a charge here on Georges Niang. This could have been for an and one opportunity right here. And Embiid is grabbing his leg, and he is down. Oh, no. Embiid is not getting up. Joel, please get up, dude. Please get up. Joel, please get up. Please get up, Joel. Oh, my gosh. No, not Joel Embiid, dude. Not Joel Embiid. What even happened? Oh, he tripped over Niang. He tripped over Niang. As Niang was going to the floor, he tripped right over him and got smashed. Looks like the crowd is cheering, so hopefully Joel Embiid is okay. Probably just getting the leg out of whack here. But there's another look at it. So that's a much better sign than what we expected. Embiid was on the ground for quite some time, but now he is back up, which is a good thing, but he will head to the bench. Not sure if he's going to the locker room or not. He is just going to take a seat on the bench, I think. It looks like Embiid's okay. So Embiid's going to stand on the floor. That is a grown man, dude. That is a grown man. But hopefully Embiid's all right for Tuesday against the Nets. Here we go. Working on an offensive foul here. No field goals for the Timberwolves in the last 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Russell trying to kick it out, and it's intercepted by Milton. Dropping it down to Milton, and Milton with a slam. Sixers down by 6, 105-99. 9-0 run for the Sixers. Russell gets over to Towns. Towns gets blocked by Milton. And Embiid picks it up. And Embiid will take it down the floor, get it over to Milton. Milton with the ball. Matching up with Towns. Gets it over to Embiid. Embiid matching up with Gobert. Embiid, the 2-point shot, no good, and it'll be rebounded by the Timberwolves. Embiid trying to chase after he gets it. Milton with the ball. Gets it over to Milton. Milton coming inside. Milton fake step back. Out to Milton. Milton matching up with Russell. Gets over to Embiid. Embiid out to Tucker. Tucker back to Embiid. Embiid the 3. Gets it to go. The Sixers are in this. 3-point game and a massive shot from Joel Hans Embiid. 30 points for Joel with that shot and a 12-0 run. Edwards with the ball. Edwards going to his right. Edwards getting this over to with McDaniels. Back to Edwards. Edwards a 3 at the top of the key. That is short and a shot clock violation. With 4 minutes left to go, Sixers ball on a shot clock violation by Anthony Edwards. Sixers are still in this, ladies and gentlemen. The crowd is fired up. The crowd's fired up. Working on a 12-0 run. Melton with the ball. Melton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid coming inside, spinning around Gobert. Drops it down to Tucker, and this will be Timberwolves basketball. Timeout most likely called here by the Timberwolves. Tucker and Embiid having a little talk. I think it's a timeout here by Minnesota. Because they're on a 12-0 deficit right now on this run by the Sixers. They're on a 12-0 deficit, dude. The Sixers are still in this. Holy cow. Dude, the Sixers are still in this thing. This is insane. Like, at halftime, they were down by 12, and they're only down by 3. This is absurd, and this is insane. Oh my goodness. 3:44 left, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Sixers have found a way to get themselves right back in this one. Embiid with a beautiful play right there. And Embiid a beautiful 3 over Gobert. Bang. Beautiful 3 right there. Sixers find themselves still in this one. You see Shake Milton on your screen. Here we go. The crowd is all fired up. And they're back in this one. Last 11 possessions, over 7 from the field for the Timberwolves, and 6 turnovers. Edwards gets it over to Russell. Russell gets it over to Edwards. Edwards a 3 is good, and they'll silence the crowd immediately for their first field goal in over 5 minutes. Here we go. Here's Milton with the ball. Milton gets over to Embiid. Embiid has to go by Gobert. Gobert flips it out to Milton. Milton coming inside. Kicks it out to Tucker. Over to Milton. Milton back out to Embiid. Embiid the pump fake. Embiid the step back 3. Comes up short. Tucker cannot get the rebound. Trying to bite at it. Cannot do so. Anderson gets this over to Edwards. Edwards going to his left. The 3 is no good. Gobert gets the rebound. And we're going the other way, ladies and gentlemen. Foul caught on Rudy Gobert. Wait, what is that? Is that Gobert's 5th or 6th? He might be fouled out. 5 personal fouls here for Rudy Gobert. That's the 5th on Rudy Gobert tonight. Milton gets this over to Melton. Melton coming inside. Layup is no good. Too hard off the glass. Anderson back to Edwards. Edwards gets stopped. And the foul is called on Joel Embiid. Guys, appreciate the 6 people, man. Appreciate the 6 people still tuning in. Man, the Flyers game against the Canadiens is going in overtime. It's unbelievable. Holy cow. It's going into OT. for the Flyers game. Anthony Edwards here. 2.5 minutes left. First one is good at the line here for Anthony Edwards. The fact that the Sixers made this close of a game, even though the Timberwolves are finding their little bit of wiggle room to try to run away with it, the Sixers made a good chance at getting themselves back in this one. But here's Shake Milton with the ball. Milton going to his right. Milton gets it over to Melton. Melton over to Niang. Niang, 4-3. Cannot get it to go. It goes off the rim and misses. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Edwards gets it over to Towns. Towns gets it over to Anderson. Under 2 minutes left in the game. Anderson gets us over to Russell. Russell comes inside. Flips it out. Anderson, the 2. No good, and Embiid gets the rebound. Comes away with it. Embiid coming inside. And Embiid, the layup is good. And for Embiid, that will be 32 on the night for Joel. Here's D'Angelo Russell with the ball. Russell gets us over to Towns. Towns gets it over to Anderson. Anderson kicks us out to Edwards. That could have been a travel. Edwards inside 2 is no good, and Embiid comes away with the rebound. He'll get it over to Milton. Milton gets it over to Embiid. Embiid gets it over to Melton. Melton matching up with Anderson. Melton coming inside. Melton kicks it out to Milton. Milton, the finger roll layup is good. That's 27 on the night for Shake Milton. What a night Shake Milton has had. About 50 seconds left. Sixers need a stop. This is a must-stop situation. Russell with the ball. Russell coming inside. Russell the pump fake. The 2 is nearly air ball. Sixers get the rebound. Melton over to Shake. Back to Melton. Melton, a 3 at the top of the key is good. Sixers are still in this. Unbelievable. The Sixers are in this right now. They're down by 1 with an opportunity to get in this 19-5 run in the last 8+ minutes. Here we go. And it's poked away. Melton picks it up. Melton. The layup is no good. Cat gets the rebound. Cat out to Anderson, who will be fouled by Joel Embiid. So what's the foul going to be here? Was this in transition or was this a shooting foul? Because Cat took this. Niang ran into Cat, and then Embiid ran to Anderson. Man, 6.2 to play. It's a 1-point game. 1 point separates these two teams right now. Holy cow, dude. Oh my gosh. This is insane. This is unbelievable, dude. Holy cow. I know there's not a lot of time left, but the Sixers are really showing effort against the Timberwolves in the second of a back-to-back. I'm telling you, I thought Melton, honestly, I thought he had the layup to go ahead and give us the lead. I thought he had it in his veins. But what is this? Is this a transition take foul or is this a shooting foul? What's the foul here? Brandon, man, what's good, my guy? I appreciate you for coming through towards what might be the end of the stream here. But he gave the surprising emoji. He's like, are the Sixers coming back? They have a chance, my guy. They have a chance, but is this a transition take foul or is this a shooting foul? We don't know what this is right here. It looks like it's going to be an inbound pass here for the Timberwolves, so it looks like this is a transition take foul. Here we go. They inbound this here. They got to get to him, and they will get to Anthony Edwards, forcing him to shoot 2. Sixers out of fouls to give, so now it is just free throws here for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Whatever happens here, the Sixers will have to go ahead and shoot a 3 because Anthony Edwards is most likely going to make both free throws. He's 7 for 7 on the night. First one for Edwards is going to be good off the front and back of the rim and in. Edwards barely goes ahead and makes the first one. They're going to put Paul Reed in for height advantage if they do go ahead. If Anthony Edwards goes ahead and gets this off the backboard. We'll see. Second one is also good. So, opportunity has got to be made right here. They need a 3 to tie this game up and to most likely send this game to overtime. If they do this, the Wells Fargo Center is going to go insane. The Wells Fargo Center is going to go insane if the Sixers go out there and make a 3-pointer. Because that is what they need to tie this game up. It is 112 to 109. This is unbelievable. How close this game is and how fun this game is to watch. This is playoff basketball, dudes. Oh my gosh. Bro, I can hardly breathe. This is how exciting this game is, man. Bruce Harper, what's good, my guy? Appreciate you for coming through. Said this game is crazy. Absolutely, man. This game might be one of the most wild games I've ever watched. Appreciate the 7 people in the chat, man. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Appreciate everybody for coming through, man. So I'm down on my pipe. But, yeah, man, I had a YouTube short up about that. We did not get Ndamukong Suh. I think those 2 are available for Sunday. We'll see, man. Here we go. 4.1 left. Sixers with 1 chance to tie this up. They need a 3-pointer to tie this one up. To have any chance, they need a 3-pointer. Tucker needs to inbound this pass. Tucker inbounds it to Niang. Niang needs to take it. And that will end the game as he will miss the shot. And the Philadelphia 76ers, on what was almost a phenomenal comeback, is going to fall up short as they will fall to the Minnesota Timberwolves by a final score of 112 to 109. This was a phenomenal game to watch, and this right here is playoff basketball, man. Appreciate that, Bruce Harper. Rayman goes, no! Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell, though, are the players of the game. Anthony Edwards with 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, and D'Angelo Russell with 19 points, 7 for 13 from the field, and 7 assists as well. This was a good game, man. I mean, we should have never even been in this game. We shouldn't have even gone on the run that we went on. I'm telling you, if we have at least one of our starters in, I'm mainly talking about Tobias Harris because we can't have Maxey in for at least 3 to 4 weeks, and we don't have Harden for at least another 2 weeks. So if we, especially in particular, I'm talking about Tobias Harris, if we had him in this game, if we had Tobias Harris in this game, then we would probably win this game. We'd probably win this game if we have Tobias Harris. It was a good game, man. Random man, it was a good game. Don't get me wrong. But you got to be proud of this squad for what they were able to do, man. You got to be proud of them for what they were able to do without 3 of their starters and on the second of a back-to-back. You got to give credit for this team. You have to. I think the main reason that, the Sixers end up losing, one of the reasons was definitely too many turnovers, a little bit of offensive rebounds and rebounding as a whole. But I think the The main reason was the turnovers. Too many turnovers, man. 22 turnovers in this game was unacceptable. That's the main con I can take away. But it was a great game. Yeah, I wish we had Maxey too, man, but he's out for 3 to 4 weeks, so we can't see him on the floor until 3 to 4 weeks from now. Yeah, this was a great game, man. Absolutely. Yep. Lonnie Walker, the fourth fan. What's good, my guy? Appreciate you coming through. Said I wanted the 76ers to win. I wanted to, my guy. I thought they were going to come out here and win this game, but they lose it 112 to 109. It had to come down to a George Niang lucky shot. And at the end of the day, the Sixers come up short on the comeback, man. They come up short. Appreciate you for coming through. Lonnie Walker, the fourth fan. If you haven't done so, my guy, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're new, since I don't recognize your account. Are you going to broadcast tomorrow? No, I'm not, my guy. We're having people over for the Eagles game tomorrow. So, since that is the case, I will not be streaming the Eagles game. That was a one-time thing in the regular season when we didn't have company over. That was a one-time thing. But on Sunday, I will not be streaming the Eagles game, man. So, it is what it is at the end of the day. I feel Minnesota is a credible team. Exactly. I mean, they were letting us in this game. They were letting us in this. I think either if Tobias Harris was playing in this game or if the Sixers didn't have 22 turnovers, then the Sixers go ahead and they probably win this game. They probably do. Of course, the Montreal Canadiens beat the Flyers in a shootout. Of course they do. I understand Georgetown with their company and Fly was Fly. Hey, Fly was Fly, man. Absolutely. Let's go beat the Colts tomorrow, and let's go show Jeff Saturday who's boss. But, yeah, man, we do have a final score in this one as the comeback by the Philadelphia 76ers is going to come up short as they will fall to the Minnesota Timberwolves by a final score of 112 to 109. But what a valiant effort by the Sixers in this one tonight, man. Valiant effort by the team. Wait for them to come back in it. Embiid rolled up the ankle. Embiid with a big shot with 4:25 left. 105, 102. And then it came down to some of these plays right there. Milton with the layup was good right there for 110, 106. And then Melton, the three at the top of the key. That was good as well to get the crowd all fired up. There were some crazy moments, man. And then the clock was winding down. Melton with the steal. Thought he would have gave us the lead, but a piece of that was created by Anthony Edwards. And then the Sixers ended up fouling. If Melton also makes that, the Sixers also do have a good chance of winning the game as well. And then it all had to come down to a George Niang 3. Didn't happen, and then the Timberwolves ended up winning 112 to 109, which is the final score, ladies and gentlemen, to this battle on the second of a back-to-back. Sixers were in this somehow. I don't know how they were or where this came from, but they were in this somehow and somehow almost came out here and won this game. They almost did. Main reason was the turnovers. But let's go over the player stats, team stats, and then, we'll get out of here. Appreciate everybody for coming through, man. We still got 5 people in here. Appreciate the 5 strong people that we have still tuning into this one. But here we go. Leading the way for the Minnesota Timberwolves was Anthony Edwards with 25 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. Following that up was D'Angelo Russell with 19 points, 2 rebounds, and 7 assists. Karl Anthony Towns, however, only with 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 assists. Jalen Noel, actually, I skipped him, but he had 13 points, 2 rebounds, and 2 assists. Jaden McDaniels with 11 points, a rebound, and an assist each. Taurean Prince with 9 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Naz Reid with 9 points, 4 rebounds, and an assist. Kyle Anderson with 6 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And I skipped this one again, but Rudy Gobert with 8 points, 12 rebounds, and an assist. Rudy Gobert, ladies and gentlemen, almost had a double-double in this game, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, on what he almost had. But he almost had it tonight, man. But that's how your scoring ends for the Minnesota Timberwolves side. Now we head over to the Philadelphia 76ers side, where Joel Embiid led the way for the Philadelphia 76ers in this unfortunate loss with 32 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Following that up is Shake Milton, who might have had one of, if not his best game of the season, with 27 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Following that up was DeAnthony Melton with 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists. George Niang with 15 points, 2 rebounds, and an assist. Daniel House with 11 points, 7 rebounds, and an assist. Easily, in my eyes, Daniel House's best game of the season right there. And Montrezl Harrell with 3 points, no rebounds, and an assist. And then Paul Reed with 2 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists to end off the scoring for your Philadelphia 76ers in this one against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now over to the team stats now. The Minnesota Timberwolves ended up finishing shooting the ball 47.1% from the field to the Philadelphia 76ers 47.9%. The Timberwolves shot the ball 33.3% from three-point range to the Philadelphia 76ers 43.8%. The Minnesota Timberwolves shot the ball 83.3% from the free throw line to the Philadelphia 76ers 84.4%. The Minnesota Timberwolves out-rebounded the Philadelphia 76ers 42-39 and same offensively 8-4. The Timberwolves had more assists than the Sixers, 28-21. The Timberwolves had more blocks than the Sixers, 2-1. The Sixers had more steals than the Timberwolves, 10-9. The Timberwolves ended up winning the turnover battle, 22-17. The Timberwolves with more points in the paint, 44-38, and a total of 49 personal fouls called, 25 on the Minnesota Timberwolves and 24 on the Philadelphia 76ers. To end off this big-time battle. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's pretty much doing it for me, man. As the Philadelphia 76ers come up short on what could have been a come-from-behind victory. If DeAnthony Melton makes that layup, or if Tobias Harris is playing, the Sixers most likely would come out and win this one. But, yeah, guys, that's going to pretty much do it for me. Before I get out of here, let me just say shout out to everyone that came through in the chat. And if you guys are not doing so, go ahead and follow me both on Twitter, handle being right there. And then same thing, go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everybody for coming through as always. Random Man says thank you for your service. No, you're welcome, man. Absolutely. Enjoy your night, Random Man, and even though the Sixers did not get the win. But, yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for me. Take care, TB1. Have a good one. But, yeah, guys, on that note, man, that's going to pretty much do it for me, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Peace out, God bless, and peace.